5:12 local time. Strait of Hormuz. The sky is clean, almost pale gold. A distant tanker drone hums steady in the thin air. Routine tracks, routine radio, nothing unusual. Then the warning receiver chirps. Inside the E-3 Sentry orbiting south of the choke point, the mission crew watches a wide, quiet scope. A calm ocean of returns, faint coastal clutter, and the familiar geometry of friendly routes. A controller sips lukewarm coffee and calls out small corrections like a metronome. Everything is measured, everything is normal, until two new blips bloom from the Iranian coast and accelerate hard. They are fast, they are climbing, and they are pointed straight at the tanker track. 5:13 local time. The E-3's senior director leans forward. New contacts. 2. Origin north-northeast. Angels increasing. The scope paints them clean now, no longer buried in ground noise. The aircraft are big on radar. Not subtle, not civilian. Down on the water, the carrier strike group holds a steady course beyond the busiest lanes. USS Abraham Lincoln rides the swell with the casual authority of a city that can move. Around her, the escorts keep their stations like watchful dogs, disciplined spacing, silent purpose. USS Spruance on the forward quarter, USS Mason to the east, USS Stockdale holding the western screen. Aegis radars rotate and stare, feeding a shared picture through Link 16, a lattice of data and intent. In the carrier's Combat Information Center, the light is dim and the air is cold. Screens glow green and blue. Operators speak in clipped phrases that sound almost emotionless, but every word lands like a tool placed carefully on steel. The tactical action officer, the TAO, stands behind the consoles, hands loose, posture calm. Calm is part of the job. Calm is contagious. The first seed of tension is not the contacts themselves. It is the timing. This week has already been loud. Operation Epic Fury turned the region into a chessboard with pieces on fire. Strikes, counter-strikes, and the constant risk of someone misreading a signal in a crowded sky. Iran, newly proud of its Russian-built Sukhoi fighters, has been searching for a moment to prove a point. A moment to show that the old rules are gone. And somewhere above the water, far from any radar's confidence, an F-22 Raptor is already there. Quiet, invisible, patient. 5:14 local time. The E-3 calls it out. Contacts now at Angels 20, speed high subsonic, heading 165. A second controller answers without looking away. Plot puts them on the tanker in 8 minutes. Distance is the language of tension. Distance 92 nautical miles. The tanker is a slow, valuable animal, a flying gas station that keeps fighters alive. It is also an easy symbol. Interdict the tanker, and you do not just threaten fuel, you threaten presence. You threaten the idea that the United States can stay as long as it wants. The E-3 hails. Guard frequency. Professional. Clear. Unknown military aircraft, you are approaching a coalition air track. State your intentions. Silence. No response. Distance 87 nautical miles. In the Lincoln CIC, a sensor operator shifts the display range. The two tracks are now shared across the force. The Aegis cruised picture is crisp, stable, confident. The TAO watches the symbols and does not speak for a moment. Then, quietly, confirm type, the E-3 team begins the identification drill. Speed, altitude, climb rate, radar signature. The tracks move like predators, not like commercial aircraft, not like routine patrols. A data specialist overlays known profiles. The return size, the acceleration, the flight behavior. The answer appears in the simplest way. Sukhoi, likely Su-35. That matters. The Su-35 is not a museum piece. It is a modern, expensive message with thrust vectoring engines, that can yank the nose through impossible angles and still keep control. It is built to win close, to confuse, to intimidate. Each one costs roughly $85 million before the missiles even leave the rails. And Iran now has enough of them to stop pretending. Distance 82 nautical miles. The E-3 tries again. 2 Iranian fighters, you are approaching restricted airspace. Turn immediately to heading north. Still nothing. No call sign, no acknowledgement, only speed. In the Lincoln's air operations space, the decision is already being shaped. They do not want a firefight in this corridor. They want it to end before it begins. A carrier strike group is not just steel and jets. It is procedure. It is discipline. It is layers. The E-3's director speaks a new line. Raptor is on station. Somewhere in the blue, the F-22 pilot hears it through a low, calm voice in the headset. The Raptor does not show itself. It does not need to. Not yet. The F-22 is built around a simple advantage. In radar terms, it is not a fighter. It is a problem. Its radar cross-section can be small enough to feel like a marble in a world designed to find garage doors. The Su-35, by contrast, is loud, powerful, proud, but on radar, it can look like a big, confident rectangle begging to be measured. 5:15 local time. Distance 78 nautical miles. The 2 Su-35s climb again. They are not just intercepting, they are performing a show for their controllers, a show for their own belief in Russian engineering and Iranian resolve. The lead pilot toggles systems. His radar sweeps wide. His cockpit is filled with symbols that say he is the hunter. The second pilot holds slightly low, slightly aft, a textbook formation. They are looking for the tanker. They are also looking for anything that might protect it. They do not see what is already behind them. The E-3 calls a caution. Raptor, be advised, bandits are hot. To ship. Bearing 045 from tanker. Range 75. The Raptor pilot answers with a single word. Copy. He is not moving fast. He is not rushing. He is sliding into position like a door closing without sound. 5:16 local time. Distance 72 nautical miles. In the Lincoln CIC, the Air Defense Coordinator watches the air picture and opens a second window. Electronic support measures, passive lines, not radar, listening, searching for emissions. Then the station lights up. The Iranian fighters are radiating, strong, aggressive. Their radars are no longer in polite search. They are narrowing, probing, trying to lock. A new voice, sharp. Multiple fire control quality hits. They are painting the tanker track, mini hook. But what they did not know was that every second they transmitted, they were drawing a map of themselves. Distance 68 nautical miles. The tanker crew hears the radio calls now. They are not built for dogfights. They are built for patience, for holding a racetrack in the sky, while others do the dangerous work. The boom operator checks the mirrors. The aircraft commander keeps the voice steady. E-3, tanker, we are ready to aggress. The answer is immediate. Stand by. Help is already there. 5:17 local time. Distance 65 nautical miles. The Iranian lead pilot tries his next tool. Not radar, heat. The Su-35 carries an infrared search and track system, the kind of sensor meant to find what radar cannot. It watches for thermal contrast, the faint signature of engines, the shimmer of hot metal against cold air. It is a way to hunt stealth when stealth refuses to be seen. It is also a way to lie to yourself, because heat is messy and the sky is full of false ghosts. He sweeps, he stares, he sees nothing. So he assumes the only threat is the tanker, and whatever escorts might be too far to matter. That assumption is the opening. 5:18 local time. Distance 60 nautical miles. The E-3's director speaks with more edge now. Bandits continue hot. No calm, no squawk. Speed increasing. In the Lincoln CIC, the TAO does not raise his voice. He does not need to. Set air defense condition. Track and hold. Aegis continues to watch, an expensive, calm wall of awareness. The carrier strike group is not firing, not even close. But the layers are waking up. Data links are tightening. Weapons are being made ready without being made visible. Aegis is more than a radar. It is a system that can fuse information from ships, aircraft, and sensors into one shared truth. A truth that can guide missiles worth millions of dollars without hesitation. A truth that does not care about bravado. Distance 56 nautical miles. In the Raptor's cockpit, the pilot sees what the Iranians cannot. He sees them as clean targets, bright on his sensor picture. He has their positions, their headings, their speeds, and the subtle pattern of their radar scans. He also has something else. He has patience. He does not want a merge. He does not want a turning fight where thrust vectoring becomes a circus trick with teeth. He wants the engagement to end while the enemy still believes it has not begun. 5:19 local time. Distance 52 nautical miles. The E-3 calls again, one last attempt at professional restraint. Iranian military aircraft, you are directed to turn away immediately. You are approaching coalition forces. No response, only the quiet arrogance of continued closure. Distance 49 nautical miles. Mini hook. Then the electronic warfare picture changes. The Raptor pilot shifts his mode, not to announce himself, to manipulate. He does not need to shout. He only needs to whisper in the right frequency bands, at the right power, at the right angles, so their displays lose confidence. A soft fog in the mind of the radar. A slight misalignment between what is real and what seems real. On the Su-35 screen, the tanker track flickers. Not gone, just unstable. The lead pilot frowns. He adjusts gain. He narrows the scan. He tries to burn through. He thinks the problem is distance, or sea clutter, or an American jammer somewhere far away. He does not consider the simplest answer, that the thing doing this is close. 5:20 local time. Distance 45 nautical miles. The Raptor slides lower, then climbs, positioning for a clean geometry. He stays outside their forward arcs. He stays where their IRST has the worst angle. He stays in the blind place behind their confidence. The E-3, watching from above, sees the setup forming like a trapped closing. Raptor, you are cleared to sanitize the track. Weapons tight, self-defense authorized. Weapons tight, a phrase that carries weight. It means permission is there, but discipline still rules the trigger. Distance 41 nautical miles. In the carrier strike group, a Super Hornet section is already airborne, holding further south, a visible deterrent if this turns political. But they are not the tip of the spear. Not today. The tip of the spear is invisible. 5:21 local time. Distance 38 nautical miles. The Iranian wingman calls his leader on an internal frequency. His voice has a thin edge now. Your radar is unstable too? The leader answers with irritation. Adjust. Keep closure. The tanker is there. He is still hunting the wrong thing. Distance 35 nautical miles. The Raptor pilot sees his shot window. He does not take it yet. He waits for the moment that breaks morale, not metal. Because the most decisive victory is often the one that convinces the enemy to leave. 5:22 local time. Distance 31 nautical miles. The Su-35 lead switches to a tighter radar mode again, a more aggressive attempt to get a hard lock. It is an act of confidence. It is also an act of desperation, because now he wants certainty. That move is loud, it is bright, it is trackable. In the Lincoln CIC, a watchstander says it flat. They are in fire control. The TAO nods once. Log it, distance 28 nautical miles. Now the Raptor moves. A small push of thrust, a slight bank, a perfect alignment. He brings his own radar on for a brief, controlled burst, not to search, but to confirm what he already knows. A quick, precise check that paints the Su-35s like targets on a range. Then he goes quiet again. 5:23 local time, distance 24 nautical miles. The Iranian lead pilot's cockpit tone changes. Not his radar, not his own lock. A warning. A harsh, unmistakable chirp that says something is targeting him. For half a second, he freezes, because there was nothing on his scope, because the sky in front of him was empty, because he believed the only threat would announce itself from far away, like older fighters always did. Then reality arrives. A shadow on the edge of vision. A shape that should not be there. A fighter with angles that seem wrong for the air, and it is behind him, very close. Distance is no longer measured in nautical miles. It is measured in heartbeats. The Raptor pilot speaks, calm as steel. Iranian fighters, this is United States Air Force. You are being intercepted. Turn north now. The Iranian wingman snaps his head, searching, breathing loud. I see him. How is he there? The leader yanks the stick. He tries to force the fight into what he understands. A turning engagement. A demonstration of thrust vectoring. A chance to flip the nose, to point an R-73 infrared missile at heat and end the surprise with a kill. But the Raptor does not give him that gift. 5:24 local time. The F-22 pulls into a power loop, smooth and violent at once, climbing hard and rolling through the vertical like a hawk changing altitude without flaring its wings. The maneuver is not for show, it is for position. It keeps the Raptor out of the Su-35's forward sensor cone. It keeps him in the blind spot, where the IRST struggles and the pilot's eyes cannot settle. Short, fast, clean, the Iranian lead tries to follow. He yanks his own aircraft into a high alpha pull, the nose slicing up, the jet almost hanging on thrust. For a moment, it looks dramatic. For a moment, it looks like control. But it bleeds energy. It bleeds options. And the Raptor, built for supercruise and disciplined geometry, keeps the advantage like a hand on a throat. Mini hook. Then the first missile tone returns. Closer, steadier, undeniable. The Raptor has not fired. Not yet. But he is letting them hear the truth. A IM-120D is ready. A weapon that can reach out beyond visual range with active guidance. A long-range argument measured in millions of dollars and decades of refinement. It does not care about aerobatics. It cares about solutions. The Iranian wingman panics first. He breaks formation, diving left, flaring, dumping countermeasures like confetti. It is instinct. It is also exactly what the Raptor wants, because formation is trust, and once trust is broken, control collapses. 5:25 local time. The E-3 calls the picture. Bandits defensive. They are turning cold. Distance to tanker is widening now. That matters. On the Lincoln, the CIC stays quiet. No cheering, no bravado, just a calm acknowledgement that the layers worked. A visible carrier group, an E-3I in the sky, an invisible Raptor placed like a silent blade. Training, discipline, a professional chain of decisions that never needed a dramatic explosion to be decisive. The Iranian lead tries one last move. He swings his nose back, searching for a heat signature, hoping the IRST will gift him a lock. He whispers to his wingman to regroup, to hold, to re-engage, to prove something. But the wingman has already tasted the fear of the unseen, and fear changes pilots. 5:26 local time. The Raptor pilot adjusts again, staying behind them, never fully visible, never allowing them to fix him in their minds. He is not just a fighter now, he is an experience, a lesson, a ghost that appears only when it is too late to argue with it. He transmits one more time, voice level. You are leaving coalition airspace. Continue north. Do not return. The Iranian lead does not answer. He cannot, because any response is an admission that he lost control of the encounter. So he does the only thing he can still do with dignity. He runs. Both Su-35s push power and retreat toward the coast, back toward hardened shelters and the promise of safety under mountains and concrete, back toward the underground base that was supposed to symbolize immunity, back toward controllers who will demand explanations for how two brand new fighters were hunted without ever seeing the hunter. 5:27 local time. The tanker steadies its racetrack again, breathing easier without saying it. The E-3 expands its scan, watching the retreat, confirming the cold aspect, confirming no new surprises. Bandits continue cold, range increasing. No further closure. In the Lincoln CIC, the TAO finally exhales, almost imperceptible. He turns to a console. Save all data. Full recording. Emissions, tracks, everything, because the victory is not just that the threat left. The victory is what the United States learned while it happened. Every radar pulse the Su-35 pushed into the air, every shift in frequency, every attempt to lock, every behavior under stress. All of it is now captured, time-stamped, analyzed, and fed into the quiet machine of future superiority. A confrontation can be an intelligence harvest. A near miss can be a blueprint. And a retreat can be the most valuable proof of all, because it tells you the enemy now believes in your shadow. 5:28 local time. The Raptor stays on station a little longer, not chasing, not posturing, just watching, ensuring the corridor stays calm. He is a single aircraft worth well over $100 million, backed by a carrier that costs billions, surrounded by escorts with weapons that can reach across the horizon. But none of that mattered as much as the simplest thing. Professional decision-making, the kind that wins without needing headlines. In the Strait of Hormuz, the sun climbs higher, the water sparkles, shipping continues, and the world, for a moment, looks normal again. But the meaning lingers. Two new fighters tried to make a statement with speed and silence. They believed technology alone would balance the scales. They believed a stealth fighter had to be seen to be real. They believed the United States would react loudly, impulsively, predictably. Instead, they met a ghost. And the ghost did not need to fire to win, because the modern fight is not always about who explodes. It is about who controls the picture, who shapes the story, who forces the other side to make choices under pressure, while remaining calm enough to record everything. Somewhere, analysts will replay the encounter frame by frame. They will measure the emissions. They will model the maneuvers. They will update libraries and tactics. They will make the next interception even cleaner, even faster, even more one-sided. And somewhere else, in a hardened room under a mountain, two pilots will remember a warning tone that came from nowhere, a silhouette that appeared behind them like a mistake in reality, a presence that told them, without shouting, that the sky has layers they cannot see. The Strait of Hormuz will remain what it has always been, a narrow line where commerce and conflict share the same air, a place where seconds matter, a place where discipline matters more. And the next time a radar screen looks calm and someone says nothing unusual, the people who stood watch today will remember how quickly calm can become a threat. Stay sharp. Keep your eyes on the horizon.